Pasha Barbaro. Thank you for tuning. Appreciate you all. Today we talking unlocking influence. How 100 followers can be much better than 5 million. So what if I told you that everything you know about influence is wrong? 2024 did a study, revealed something that big influencers probably don't want to see. But a micro influencer with just 100 followers achieved a mind-blowing 20% success rate, while mega influencers with 5 million followers barely hit 0.0004%. That's just the beginning. Hold on here. Make a little adjustments here, and we're gonna get started. Right? While we're doing this, feedback. So look, I hope y'all are doing well. What I want to do with this, what I want to accomplish with this video is go back and watch the last video. We covered a little bit of the Scientology and Dianetics. It really was a great conversation showcasing how people feel small. And I know it sounds like, this is what, that's not a new point. But the presentation it was new for me. And the interpretation of that same thing. It's something that we see every day. I think the problem for me was, because I always have this larger than life truth persona, no bullshit. And I used to always say it was like the microwave. I called it the microwave syndrome. So people with dense vibrations, low vibrations, right? It's like the food that you put in the microwave. And then when someone on my level is around them, it's like the high vibration, the high frequency, right? So the high frequency energy starts to cook the low frequency vibrators, right? And the way I interpret that is nobody wants to be cooked, right? The opportunity they had was to grow to a higher frequency. But a lot of people think that they're just the top because they're all they know, right? And because they don't know what they don't know, I did the other video here on Y97. Go back and watch that one where we showed if they're a 5 and they're used to talking to ones and zeros, they feel they're 5 distant. So they react a certain way because of that interpretation of 5. Because they don't know what they don't know, if you're a 10 and you come around them, they interpret the 5 still, the distance, but they don't realize that you're 5 above them. And they continue to live their life as if you're a 1 or a 0. And that's what causes the conflict, and that's what causes the mass ignorance. That's what causes the innovation stagnation in our communities, because 5s believe that they're 10s, right? And this has been reinforced with participation trophies and passive aggressiveness and all kinds of stuff. Gaslighting, So the community as a whole suffers because a lot of leadership and a lot of your leaders have been put in position to appear to be tens when they're really twos, threes, fours, and maybe a five. And that's what we're going to get into. Let's get into how this is going to actually add value to you, because I talk to many people who are discouraged. A lot of people are bringing different levels of the ladder of truth. There's only one truth. All this bullshit about my truth, your truth, oh, that's your opinion, that's my opinion, I disagree. Fuck all that. Fake ass motherfuckers do that shit, right? Because they haven't realized that there's only one truth. And all they're trying to do is justify in their brain why they can not put the energy or the effort in to grow and become more than they were yesterday. So let's just tell you, oh, that's your opinion, because that way I don't have to research, study, find out I was wrong, and then be enticed to want to improve and be something more than I was yesterday. So let's just say it's opinion or some bullshit like I disagree or whatever, the dumb shit that comes out of people's mouths so they can stay put. So when we look at the word influence is a flowing from the stars. A flowing from the stars. Now, for all those people, you know, you got a lot of these church influencers, these different religious influencers. They getting up here quoting scriptures. They say scriptures. They getting up here telling you how holier than thou they are, and then they tell you there's something wrong with astrology, or they tell you that there's something wrong with tarot cards, or they want to create all this separation and again get another gaslighting attempt, whatever. And they're trying to influence you. And they'll say they'll want to influence you and avoid these influences, but then they're influencing you too. How hypocritical. But how ironic is it that the people who want you to shy away from astrology, astronomy, you pick it, tarot, anything that has to do with the sky and charts, but they want to influence you, which is originally a flowing from the stars that acts upon the character and destiny of people. So they don't want you to read your horoscope. They want to be your horoscope. And if you notice the common trend in our lives, a lot of what they demonize, like Pasha Paro, is exactly what they want to emulate and become and replace in your life. No, don't look up. Don't ask if the sun is 3,000 miles away or 30 million. Don't think about it. Don't look at the stars. Oh my God, you're the devil. Did you just pull a tarot card out and tell me what you feel? No, I'm going to tell you what I feel. Well, isn't that the same thing? Okay, no, because you're not in tune with source, right? You're not connected to influence, but you want to be an influence. This is the problem with leadership in our nation right now. I don't care if you're talking about corporate America. I don't care if you're talking about the dude that sits 10 feet away from you and is trying to lead a ring of whatever, clients they got. The ones farthest away from the truth of what's going on is always the ones that are trying to influence you. Did you notice that? Now, a lot of us that are true, we not buying followers, right? So it's easy for people with connections to funding, resources, whatever, to grow these massive followings to appear, and we're going to get into this, to appear to be something that they're not. Right? And then your neighbor, potentially your son or daughter one day, blindly follows this bullshit, implements it into their life. And how does that affect society? How does that affect society? See, like, I'm used to it. Everybody know me. I'm candid. I'm honest. I'll tell you, look, it's baffling to me that I can get on here, tell you I have a testing ability in the top 2% of the nation, and tell you I want to help the community. And 98% of the community will run from that. To some lesser quality source of whatever. Get some shit done that's bullshit, but they won't know that it's bullshit for 3 to 5, 7 years. And then feel like, oh, I'm growing, I'm ready to rebrand. No, what it was you was ignorant, and you wasted 3, 5, 7 years of potential growth in the community because of your emotional bullshit. But what I'm tired of, and people like me are tired of, is corporate America, before you get blacklisted for trying to stand up for Americans and go fight for employee rights, while everybody else just sits online talking about the shit on how to stay in the boiling water like a frog. You went and did some shit. You went and said, I'm going to make the landmark case that creates the first impression to bring toxic workplace to light in the fashion of you should be able to defend yourself when you know you're being attacked and gaslighted. And an international corporation worth billions told their other corporation buddies worth billions, look, this motherfucker win this case, we all fucked. Because we won't be able to control the people the way we have anymore. See, I fight those type of conversations for real. I'm not on Facebook and LinkedIn posting top 10, guess what I think, because I read this, let me regurgitate it bullshit. And I'm not saying that the people that post the information that people are posting is wrong. Because you know me, I told you can be right and still not be true. Because what's right is not always true. And that's why I want to vomit every time I see or hear a blanket statement and then see 10,000 people engaging with it. It's not because I'm jealous. It's because it's fucking ruining people's ability and perception to fight back when they don't even know they're at a war. Like, you don't even know you're at war, and you're going to this mass seance of, hey, when you get shot, just tell yourself that shit didn't hurt, bro. Yeah, man, just walk that shit off, man. Like, your lung is falling out your chest and everything, but you can still inhale, right? Gargle the blood, but you can still feel that, right? Right? You're okay. You're gonna last. You're gonna make it. Just hang in there. It's what you do when that happens to you. Here's a top 10 list of things to do, but you can stay there longer, bro. We want you to hang in there and stay there longer. Don't quit. Don't give up, and definitely don't fight back. Like, that's what this shit looks like to people who know, and it's just disgusting. But you know what? I can't blame you, because y'all from the age of Pisces. Y'all didn't come from the programming. Y'all weren't sent here to aid the world in the transition to Aquarius. Oh, why? Because y'all weren't taught real influence. Y'all afraid to look up. You don't know nothing about the stars. You don't know what Pisces meant. You think Jesus was the fish. So you definitely don't know the gem pop that is, what Aquarius means to your life or the future of humanity. And that's why you can't appreciate, those people can't appreciate a Pasha in their life, or even in their vicinity. And despite all of the bullshit that's going on with it, one of the most powerful quotes I heard, whether it came from him originally or not, was from Jay-Z. My presence is charity. You don't understand. Like, fuck what he going through. I mean, I ain't, whatever. Right? I'm not supporting none of that shit. I don't even support the music or the code, all that stuff going on for whatever reason. But the quote itself is powerful, because you come, you show up, and you give these people an opportunity to be more than what they were. But they all caught on being less. Right? Because they don't know what influence is. Influence is the flowing from the stars that acts upon the character and destiny of people. But y'all ain't getting it from stars. Y'all ain't getting y'all influence from the stars. Oh wait, y'all get. I see. I get it now. They started calling these people stars, or you saw these numbers next to their name that said 500,000 followers, and you said they're a star. So someone like me go into corporate America before he gets blackballed for standing up for ignorant people that never appreciate him and never fight themselves. And they used to be like, oh, yo, you the shit. We recognize, we know. Matter of fact, here you go. Here's this check. We got these problems. Fix it for us. It's worth millions and billions of dollars. This is the millions and billions of dollars of problems I could be fixing in the community if the community wasn't the way they are. So you go and you fix these million and billion dollars problems, and you say, you know what? I could do this for the rest of my life. This is so easy. My life would be set if I just sat here at this desk for this Forbes company and just keep doing this for whatever. So I pass the fuck out. But I'm watching the world around me being destroyed for ignorance. I came out of the destruction of ignorance. And you know what? I just kind of feel like if I don't do something about this, then I ain't shit. It's one thing if you were never empowered to do nothing about it. It's one thing to be 10 years old watching your mother get beat and you try to jump in and intervene and you get hit by the grown man and slung across the room, hit your head on the stairs. You know what I mean? That's one thing. They're going to blame you when you tend to pick up the gun and shoot the motherfucker. Oh my God, the gun should have been locked up. No, the motherfucker should have not been beating mother. But it's one thing to actually not be capable, to not be aware. It's another thing to have every tool and every connection you need and to just sit there and say, I think I'm good. I couldn't do it. So I left it all behind I came to help the community. And then you talk to people who's running uh, a t-shirt printing company, and you're getting and they're talking to you. You're talking to a vending machine company, right? About this is what you should be looking at right here, and they telling you about Fisher Price kindergarten basic supply and demand shit that every preschooler knows, because they don't realize your value. And you all know that conversation about your value is only true when you're in the right spot, right? That's when they give you that tired ass example of the bottle of water. A bottle of water at Dollar Tree is $1. That same bottle of water at here is $5. At the stadium it's $15. On the plane it's your left toe. So you heard that before 10 million times. People still post it like it's something new. Why? Because they couldn't take the time to become influential or to find true influence. So they just had to regurgitate something that's been 10 million times, right? So let's look at this, because it's said that on average, influencers pay like $10,000 to $100,000 to get their first million followers. I mean, let's be real. Let's talk the business of it. I know there's some people out there, they come out, they tell a funny joke, something, whatever, they do their thing, something works for them. Congratulations, they organically go viral. They organically achieve a following over time. Applause to them. A lot of these people you're witnessing didn't do that. I mean, let's just keep it real. A lot of these people that you're witnessing wrote the checks, had checks written for them, and you can fill in the blank of where it came from, how they got it, whatever. Some of them worked up a little bit, got connected, got some sponsorships, cool. Some of them went straight to sponsorships, some of them whatever, right? Now, when you're paying for it, you don't know what you get, okay? And again, the whole point of this is because I want to see more of you guys out there starting your channels. When I talk to business owners, a lot of them don't understand what awareness is. I think if I was to kept score, I think it's probably something like, it's got to be 85+% of business owners I talk to all have something that they want to say. But they're afraid, depending on what it is, they don't know how to utilize social media tools as a tool, whatever the case may be. That's awareness. So that means you gotta talk, you gotta communicate, right? You have to become influential. Now the thing is, what does that look like for you? And what people are afraid of is, nobody's gonna listen to me. Hey, look, take me as example. Whatever, like, look, I'm in a prison of 2%. The next time you feel that bad, just look at my channel, scroll through it. All right, it's a lot of that content on there. It's great content, but guess what? It might have 20 views. Because it's easy when you put money behind it to get numbers, but are you getting connections? And this is how, like, we look at, however he feel about it, however these people in these positions feel about it. Because I study everybody. I study you, I study high, I study low. I came from the bottom. So I had a lot of opportunity to study. So some people get offended. Some people tell you they don't want to be an experiment. All this kind of bullshit you get um, feedback on. But I'm gonna learn regardless. I mean, if you out there publicizing it, I'm gonna study it. If it's in a book somewhere, I might read it. You know what I'm saying? So the point of the matter is, you don't necessarily have to have 5 billion people following you. That's what I want you to get. Like some of these business owners, they're like, Pasha, how you doing such crazy numbers? It's because look at one client, Trash and Stash. Trash and Stash is a junk removal waste management company that's B Corp certified. Any given day, how many people? Now, granted, we're doing good, and they only serve in a certain radius of the nation, right? A certain distance around their home base. It doesn't. Smartness would tell you, why are you going to waste your time building a campaign to go out and generate 1 million leads across the nation when they can't service them? Because right now they're this big on the map, and they can only do this much. Why would you? So why would they? The first thing business owners need to understand is who you really are. Your business probably ain't even set up to have 1 million followers right now. Why are you going to feel bad if you start a channel because you don't have 3 million followers? Like, think. Open your mouth. Start talking. People want to know who you are. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be slow at first, especially if you're not putting stuff into it. But here's the positive reinforcement I want to give you. The advantages you have over Pasha is you're not on, most of y'all. You guys haven't lived the life Pasha lived, right? So you're not on, like, and I'm not trying to. It's not brag. Like, it's really a gift and a curse. But you're not on, like, the EEOC list, right? You're not on the list that says, "Hey, Pasha's like a documented American on the recorder of deeds office level." Like, he's won his own court cases. Like, we don't want him talking to people. You're not on the make sure his social credit score remains low. You're not on the we definitely are blocking his YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn to some degrees, because we don't want him to grow and be like you guys, because we haven't gained control of him yet. And he's likely to say anything and everything to empower these people. And if they get empowered, we're all fucked. Like, you're not on that list yet. Maybe you want to get on there. Maybe you wanted to do some things that might put you on a list. But as of right now, you ain't done shit like that. I mean, I'm not talking down to you. I'm telling you, take it to your advantage. Because when I work with my clients, I know all of this shit that can make everything soar. I just don't do it for myself. Right? I do it for the people in the community, because that's more advantageous for me. Making one of me really big is not the answer. You saw what they did to Malcolm X. You saw what they did to Martin Luther King. This is why I'd rather invest in you and let you go and build in your community. So by the time I do get to wake up from this dream and go to back to the higher conscious levels of existence, there'll be many of you left to continue the work. Why would I want to keep all that for myself and take it to the grave with me. So when you see me sounding different online, it's because I'm Aquarius, motherfuckers. Right? Y'all gotta get y'all gotta get off of this Pisces shit. The world is going this way with or without you. And what sounds foreign to you now coming from me is gonna be the new norm eventually, because that's what I was sitting here to prepare you for. So I don't care what you think, because you don't have a choice in the matter long term. You believe you have a choice now because you believe you can be anti-Pasha. You believe you can click up behind my back, talk shit about me, and celebrate and get a little fan base. Oh, wait, that's influence. You better not do that. So that's what some of y'all. But guess what? The world is still going to become what I said it was. This is why I get the calls 5 to 7 years later. So it don't matter what you do, because it's not about me. You made it about me because that's your weakness. Apparently I'm your kryptonite. But it's not me. It's the truth that hurts you. Right now, someone saying it's the wackest dude ever. You know what? They said that about Jesus too. And then they said, when he coming back? They still waiting. They still waiting for him. They go to church every Sunday, put money in a plate, hoping maybe put an extra $1 in there, he come a little sooner. So let's get down to business. Asha, what are you talking about with this influencer shit? I'm talking about there was a point where it was celebrity influenced, right? You know, they put this celebrity in front of you, like Michael Luther King. I know, I said Michael because his name is Michael, but you didn't never study it, so you don't know Martin was never his real name. But that's neither here nor there. And you don't know that you get to a certain level and then your right-hand man is a CIA agent. So you have a handler. And you don't know that the original civil rights movement wasn't started by people that look like me. It was started by people that were European, what we would call Europeans commonly today. They were the ones out in the streets protesting, marching with the microphone, having rallies, because they were the ones seeking civil rights because, well, they were the original blacks. Because people don't know what the word black means. It's not about skin color. And we've covered that already in other videos. Go check it out. So they don't realize that the government, the United States, in a brilliant scheme of marketing and branding, capitalize on the emotional weakness of a population and execute it with great influence. A marketing campaign, a branding campaign, an awareness implant. What's the thing Elon Musk got? You gonna put in your head? Neuralink? Y'all already been Neuralinked and didn't even know it. That's why I seem foreign to y'all, because y'all getting y'all tuned into the signal, the wrong signal. Y'all tuned into the wrong source. And I'm talking to the Gen Pop. I know I got my public. YNet 7 is the public. The gym pop, that's them. They tuned into the wrong source. You can't serve two masters. They the ones out here talking about how much money they get. Ain't no money since the 1930s. You don't realize how dumb you sound. But you didn't know that because when you count this or see a digit, you think that's the gym pop calls that money. They didn't do their homework. But they don't know there ain't no money in circulation right now. So you worshiping a false idol. What does that make you? If you are what you eat and everything you've consumed is fake, then naturally by default, that makes that person fake as well. But they feel, they seem, they taste, they smell real to themselves, but they fake as hell. But you can't fault them because they don't know what they don't know. Again, they on the Neuralink. So they put these celebrities in front of you and they say, these are your thoughts. And you say, you know what? I was thinking that. You say, I was thinking that. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna come, they're gonna say, hey, look, Pasha, look, man, this dude Pasha, let me tell you, man. Look, he's gonna come to you, he gonna show you this book that the court system used called the Black's Law Dictionary. He gonna be like, he took this word and that word and said it to them and showed them what it meant in their own dictionary. And they said, oh shit, you know what? Damn, you know what you talking about. We gonna have to let you off of this shit here that we just got 99% of the nation hemmed up on. And he gonna tell you, you should do the same thing. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some crazy ass shit? Why would you do the same thing he did? Ain't nobody else doing it. And then they be like, you know what? Why would I do what he do? Ain't nobody else doing what he do. I was just thinking that. Yeah, you don't want to fuck with Pasha. Stay here with us, man. We the right. Now, ain't that the same thing? Like, hey, look. Just out now, Biden, you know, blah, 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 blah. Did you make it? No, I didn't make it. Did you have anything to do with the production of it? Nope. Did you come up with a thought of what it should do and be? Did you have any input? Nope. I'm just getting paid to tell you should buy it. But you afraid of your horoscope. Then pop. So what happened was, this was a common trend for a long time. And companies like ASOS, right? You know everything a lesson with Pasha, right? It sounded like I was talking shit, but I was just setting the stage for you. Matter of fact, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I know. They be so offended when you can just be real. Because they can't. So what happened was, ASOS, which is a British online fashion company, right, and cosmetic retailer, it was founded in 2000 in London. Primarily targets young adults and offers a wide range of products, including clothing, accessories, and cosmetics. They sell over 850 brands, as well as their own label. And it ships out to customers in 196 countries worldwide. So it's kind of like, I guess, the Amazon.com of strictly fashion and cosmetics, right? Because I didn't really know much about them. So they discovered the secret at the time to them Not to say some other companies weren't doing it. It was becoming increasingly more popular. And what they did is they said, you know, we're not paying celebrities and we're not paying quote unquote mega influencers anymore to do this influencing. Nope, we're done with that. We're going to look at the smaller influencer level, right? And so what they did is they switched to the micro influencer. Okay. Hold on, let me get this on the screen for you real quick. Right now, someone's saying, that's his opinion. That's his opinion because they don't know. Pasha don't speak opinions. Pasha going to tell you the truth because the word authority is the book or the quote that settles the question. I'm not coming to you with opinion. I'm coming to you with authority. It hurts their feelings because when I give them authority, they be like, oh shit, Pasha think he the authority. No, I'm telling you where the authority is. It's from source. The truth is from source, not Pasha. It come through Pasha. It's his opinion. Oh my God. We don't have to listen. It's his opinion. All right. So here's what they did, right? ASOS, what they did first was in so 2024 there was a study revealed that the big influencers, like we started off the video, they don't want you to know this, but a micro influencers were with just 100 followers produced 20% success rate, and mega influencers was barely pulling 0.0004%. So with that, ASOS said, hey, look, we're going to get with the micro influencers because if they're doing 20%, then if we get a bunch of those that are averaging 20%, right? So each one of them got 100, let's just make it easy math. Let's say they got 100,000 followers. They're micro, let's call that micro. Let's just pretend the numbers mean something different, but just for the math to be easy. Then we get 10 of those that are averaging 20% consistently. We don't need to worry about paying someone to do 1 million who's only getting 0.0004%. We get 10 people that's got 100,000, that's 1 million people, and they're going to hit 20% collectively on average. So what they did is they did that. And it generated a staggering 922% ROI using small creators versus their old method of using the mega influencers. So you feel small because you don't know how big you are, because you haven't tapped into source. You've been tapping into the sourceless. And see, when you really have something in you and you connect it to source, like we talked about, the sourceless are going to avoid you because they feel the power. They're going to try to keep you out of these circles because you have the true power. See, they don't have power, they have force. That's why you see me, I might have I might use Steve as an example, Bartlett, and then he interviews like the owner of LinkedIn, and all of a sudden my page shuts, he has to force that position. And yeah, people are gonna be like, yeah, well, he connected, he can do. That's what happens when you connect and you know people. No, that's what happens when you're weak. You need connections like that to do certain things for you because you can't just be strong naturally. Like you couldn't have a conversation. Or if it was really, which one is it? Was it you wasn't seeing it because you that big, or you was trying to ignore it, or was it growing and it was fucking with you and you had to do something about it, so you did everything but. Let's talk about it. Because the truth is the truth. The numbers don't lie. But it must have hurt the feelings when I was studying this and I was looking and I said, oh shit. Actually, I saw it and I said, well, you know what? Let me think about what's going on here, because I was talking to the guy on his post, this other guy. You can go to my LinkedIn, you can see all the conversations. Like anything I tell you, see, that's another thing. A lot of these people come to you with shit about people and they never once said it to those people. And if you listen to that and you take that, you digest that, you just as weak as they are. The shit that I talk to you about, one, I'm not weak minds talk about people. You've heard this quote before, well, hopefully some people, right? The mediocre minds talk about events, and the extraordinary minds talk about ideas. So everything I'm bringing to you is an ideology that you should, in my opinion, I'll tell you this, my opinion, but it's based on truth, because I can't force you to be greatness. I can't force you to be better than you were yesterday. I can influence you. People bribe you, but you can't force nobody to. I mean, even we put the gun to your head, you still can't make you do it, right? The gun might help influence you, but if you really don't want to do that shit, you still ain't gonna fucking do that shit. They're gonna have to shoot you for it. So, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can even drown the motherfucker trying. But when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I was having this conversation. I shared it on my page with the other guy. We was talking about the whole idea, and I was giving some information from my perspective and, you know, the authorities I've come across. And I said, well, you know what? I got this issue going on over here. Let me go look at it, because here's somebody with 3 million followers. And what it turned out is I went through his post, this investment in a case study, right? Everybody want to talk about what they know, but nobody knows shit because they didn't test nothing. They didn't do nothing. They just talk about what they feel. It's so pathetic. And then I looked at the highest one. Okay, highest one in the last 30 days. Here's the authority. Here's the truth. Here's the book or the quote that settles the question. His highest performing post was like 26,000 likes, hearts, celebrations, whatever you want. You know, I call it the emotional reaction. Okay, we're going to use this as a baseline because this is best performing in the last 30 days. You know, aside from comments and shit like that. Which even with the comment, it was still the best. But I'm focused on this number because it's the baseline. Well, if y'all never done any testing, you don't know what I'm talking about. But we're establishing something that can be measured. So we're going to pick this one thing that we can compare and create data. And when we did that, it came up to 0.8 or 0.08% of whatever his total following was. So I was able to showcase to the people in my man's comments over here that was all depressed because they feel like they're not getting enough shine on LinkedIn and the system's not working for them and blah, 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 blah. Some of y'all probably got better numbers than this guy. He's got the millions of followers, but you see the perspective that he has this number and you feel some type of way about it. In reality, you're outperforming him. Here's an opportunity for you to grow and learn about yourself and feel confident. And then once you start feeling confident, Pop can stop hating on our confidence. Because see, they see our confidence, but they never put in the work to get the confidence. So they feel like we don't deserve to be confident. And this is part of why they talk shit about you. Because they say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. You just running your mouth because that's what they would be doing. They were to say the things that you say. So they feel like because they don't know, you must not know. And then they feel like the person that's doing 3 million followers should know, but they don't know because they paid $100,000 to get their 3 million followers. But you studied the whole game. You just never sold out and said, you're not going to do it that way, this way, or this way. You're going to do it the true way. And if you only got 30 people, then that's the 30 people you're going to have. But the bright side is this. They got 5 million people that don't even know what the fuck to do with the information they got. You got 30 people that's going to take what you say and change the motherfucking world. So start your channel and get your 30 people. You letting these people make you feel bad, and then because you feel bad, you hating on me because I feel good. You fucked up. Right? There's a bunch of y'all in the same class. You want to pick on the same person. You want to gang up on him. And then when he come into school with the pistol, the AK pistol, and air the motherfucker out, you want to talk about gun control. How about you control your fucking bullshit ass gaslighting? Because that was traumatic experiences you was throwing on that motherfucker until he shot up the place. So you weren't concerned with controlling shots when it was you shooting. It wasn't until they shot back. Cause see, you used to bullshit. And these people used to bullshit. They shooting these words at you because they don't know what the fuck they saying. And that's you getting shot the fuck out. Like, look, man, can you stop? I don't like that. That's wrong. Look, here's why you need to learn this and do that. This is trying PTSD. Look, and all this. You come talking to me about PTSD, toxic workplace. This. Okay. And then when they come back and they shoot differently. See where you from, they shoot behind your back, playing words and ganging up and playing battle shit with, we're gonna sneak diss them and we're gonna have these conversations about them but never with them, right? That's how you shoot. And then you do all this work and you get 500 people to shadow ban these people, right? And you box them in and you wanna squeeze them because if you were squeezed, you would just collapse and give in. So you don't realize that you squeezing the motherfucker that they're gonna come out shooting. And then when everybody gets shot, they gonna blame the shooter. But like Jay-Z said, y'all respect the one who got shot. I respect the shooter because what the fuck did y'all do to get shot? I come from this shit. Even when it wasn't right, it was still true. Motherfuckers in the drug games back in the day, they know you can't be sitting on 20 kilos in the house and feel like you're not a target if everybody knew you had 20 kilos. Like y'all don't come from make sense world. Y'all come from make believe. Y'all come from fantasy. So y'all don't understand real process of thoughts. Getting popped. I come from trips up and down the turnpike to NY. You talking about stress. Y'all don't know stress. And on the flip side of the coin, I done went into these corporate America businesses, increased machine uptime annually by 7% in a plant without an engineering degree, without any maintenance experience, and increased the revenue by 2.6 to 3.2 million dollars, you pick, depending on the production lines. But I done been through all of this. So collectively, this is exactly what gives me the authority to look at your little coffee shop and be able to tell you what the fuck you're supposed to do. And it's not even about you. It's about, I'm trying to protect America from the bullshit of the United States. And you too busy trying to just be popular. Like, with the 30 people that you got to actually know who you are. You got 20,000 people follow you, only 30 people know you. That's how dumb this shit is, man. You destroying your community. You missing opportunities for your community, trying to protect what you look like to 20,000 people who don't know you. You are destroying your community from doing something real. So the next time the dock workers go on strike or COVID hit, you not without toilet paper. You not without food to eat. You not concerned if you're going to be able to get whatever it is you need in the middle of the panic. It's right next door. But you're so against that. Why? Oh, because you've been following the wrong influence. To negative people, positivity appears negative. Said a different way, to every addict, denial is the first stage. Like, how many ways you want me to hit you with it? This is why your channel, when you're great, isn't going to have a lot of followers in the beginning. In the beginning, how do you define that? Is it 1 week, 2 years, 5 years, a decade? How long was Kanye doing it before someone else said you're a genius? And I saw Alex Hormozy say, it's when you need it the most that nobody's clapping for you. He said, when you going through that building process and you ain't nobody, you clap. And I like, you know, I don't know. I said, I gave his, I was connected with both of them. I said something on his wife's page. She didn't like it. I guess she unconnected me. She disconnected me and shit. But he stuck with me. So I don't know if he saw, didn't see, whatever. So I like the truth in that. But I give credit where credit's due, right? And he said, when you go through that period, it's just you clapping. He said it's just you clapping slow, and for a long time. It's just gonna be you. He said when you need it the most, nobody's clapping for you. And then he said as soon as he made it, you know, that's when everybody comes out talking about, oh, you're great, you're the greatest. And then you get, you know, you tie this to some of the LinkedIn posts you see with the top 10 blah 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 bullshit. This is when they tell you, yeah, they always knew, they were supporting you behind the scenes, and all that bullshit started to come out, right? So mix it all up. But start your shit. Start your shit. Because what you're dealing with is it's manipulation of social proof. And it has an impact on you. That's why even if you don't want to start a channel, I give you this information because you need to know it so that you're not abused by the channel. So that you don't fall victim for these. That's why they see me. They see me cop on the post. Some people be like, oh shit. Because they know they can't throw that bullshit on me. Because I'm like, yo, look, man, take that gaslighting elsewhere. Look. You either know you gaslighting, so it's either intentional or it's negligence. Which one is it? But it's gaslighting. You can kill that noise. Oh, okay, you want to keep going? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach all the other people that's watching, because you want to be an example. And that's why they don't talk to Pasha. It's not because there's something wrong with Pasha. It's because they don't know what's wrong with them. Remember, denial is the first stage. And a lot of people are just addicted to ignorance. Right? They done followed this fake ass social proof. They didn't study themselves. They out here telling you the world is round and they don't know. What you mean, Pasha? Everybody know. Do you? Because if I tell you the truth is your mother and father, maybe whoever, somebody got you up one day, told you go brush your teeth, do your normal routine, get cleaned up, shower, whatever your situation was, bath, whatever it was for you. And they said, okay, get dressed. And they put you together and they either dropped you off or the school bus came and got you. But somewhere within that day or probably the year before, they said, look, it's very important. Don't talk to strangers. And then they put you on a bus with a stranger that took you to a building full of strangers. And a stranger told you when you were 5 years old that the world was a ball. And you believed it and built your whole life on what a stranger told you when you were 5 years old. After an hour after your mother and father told you don't talk to strangers, you built your whole life of what a stranger told you and never questioned it. Do you want to talk about influence? So now, whatever it is for you, 15, 20, 35, 40 years later, if someone comes to you like, yo, the earth might be flat, we don't really know. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Everybody knows the world is round. Do you? How do you know? They told us. Well, we would call that, if I was going to write a case out, that'd be called hearsay. Might not be admissible. No, you don't. Everybody knows. Look, NASA gave us a picture. That's hearsay. Because they're using the same picture for how the world gonna be moving in those pictures. Something ain't right with those photos. They look a little doctored. What else you got? Man, everybody know what you okay. Because they never took the time to learn the difference between knowing something and belief, which means not to know. So if you don't know, start with just being able to say, I don't know. Start there. Right? So what they did, going back to this real quick, is they eventually got to the point where they said, look, these influencers, these micro influencers are killing it, right? You know what we ready to do? We ready to relaunch this shit. And we not even gonna use the micro influencers. We gonna start an influencer program with our own employees. If the micro influencers can do it, we can just call our employees influencers. We'll just say that they're insiders. And that's what they did. So now influencers is going to be a thing of the past. You can mark my words. 12/29/2024. It'll be 5 to 7 years for most of y'all. I'm back burying this video so you can go make content about what Pasha said, because this is why the big guys want to make sure that all my stuff is suppressed, because then they can have talking points they otherwise wouldn't have had, whether it's the music industry or whatever, Christo, and they can build their brand because they've been doing it so long that they don't have new content. They're just talking about what got them to where they at, which they started 30 years ago, and we don't even live in the same world anymore. So when you're that far removed for that long, how can you be relevant? But people don't think. You're not relevant. You appear to be relevant because social proof refers to the tendency of individuals to look to others for guidance on behavior. The bandwagon effect suggests that people are more likely to engage with influencers who appear to be popular, as indicated by follower counts and shit like that. This can misrepresent the influencer's true impact. So imagine, right? Imagine you're at a local coffee shop. Let's do this one. You're at a local coffee shop. Wrong button. There you go. So you're at the local coffee shop. You came there for, what is it you normally get, right? You let us know in the comments. You came there for that. Then all of a sudden, this line forms, this crazy long line forms. Curious, you ask the coffee person, the barista, what's going on. He tells you, or he tells you, everyone's raving about this new seasonal drink called Pumpkin Spice Delight. You glance at the menu, and you notice that it's just a fancy twist on a classic pumpkin. They pumpkin spice latte in it, right? With a little bit of a twist. Despite your initial cravings and the hesitation, you notice that, everyone around you was excitedly chattering about it, like, we gotta have our pumpkin spice delight, right? And it got you like curious, because you started to be what? Influenced, right? They started getting their shit, posting pictures on social media, and you was like, I'm trying to build a following. I want to fit in. Normative social influence kicked in. The buzz is contagious. And you think to yourself, if everyone else loves it, it must be good. That's how United States citizenship began. In America. So you decide to join the crowd, and you ordered a drink too. The scenario illustrates social proof and the bandwagon effect perfectly. See, you were uncertain about trying to drink, but seeing others enjoy it led to you saying, let me give it a try. It was only $4 more than your original $9 latte. With a pump, a squeeze, and shake and stir. Right? $4. So, the popularity of the drink influenced your decision, even though you might have preferred a different flavor. Later, you finally get yours after being influenced, right? And you take a sip, and you realize it's not that amazing to you, at least as everyone else claims. And that highlights how social proof can sometimes misrepresent true quality of something, and then you just fucked afterwards. The question is, do you realize that you tasted something you don't like or not? Just because a lot of people are doing it doesn't mean that it's the best option for you. But in the world of influencers, this same principle applies. And a mega influencer with 1 million followers might seem more credible simply because of the number of people following them. But that doesn't guarantee their recommendations will resonate with everyone or even you. You don't know if their 1 million followers all went on a school to short bus, right? You just wanted to be a part of the million. So the real impact often lies with those smaller creators like you, who's feeling bad about yourself because you only have 27 people that constantly follow you and support you, right? In big business, we learned that each one person represents 60,000 people. Now, the problem is, here's the thing. Actually, let me finish this thought. So the real impact often lies with the smaller creators, and they're more genuine and more actually connected with their audience, just like the cozy coffee shop experience. See, like right now, you put a comment in there, I'm the perfect size still to actually be like, oh, so and so made a comment, asked this question, shout out, thanks, let's answer, let's talk about it. You following people who don't even know you commenting because they so big in their mind, they got a fake ass TV set, production set, recorded this and uploaded on a video like they NBC. They too good to even talk to you from their own shit. Why? Because they trying to be appearing that influential that they can't even be real. But then you talk about how real shit is, and it's coming from a fake ass source to begin with. A lot of the Gen Pop don't even understand the level of insanity that they practice on a daily basis, and then they just want you to be insane with them, and they get mad when you say no thank you. But again, these are the shots that they keep shooting at you, and then as soon as you say, you know what, enough's enough, you might start to understand why they want to fly planes in the building and drones is flying over and Pearl Harbor and shit. This is why certain people are really worked against in a major way. You could do the same things that someone else did to become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, or a billionaire, but they're not gonna let that shit flow to you. They're not gonna let you get that influence easily. Because they can't control you with the influence that you got now, and you only got $5 in your bank account. What the fuck are you gonna do with 50 million? So yes, let's get these key people and these gatekeepers to suppress them, and they're on the internet. We can, like the movie did with the little cartoon character. They told them on. I gotta find out which movie that was. I don't know why it coming Rock or something in my head. I don't remember what it was, but it was a little cartoon character. I think he was a red guy or something, like a red shirt or something. I forget what it was. I don't watch a lot of movies, and this was a long time ago. It feel like. But he wound up going back in the back of the back and like into YouTube world, and like they were telling him like, yeah, we'll make you a star, and whenever you just do this and do that, and we'll do this and we'll shoot you out to everybody, we'll make. They're telling the youth that if you play ball, they'll put you in position to be this. But this is when I come and say, hey, social credit score, remember this is what they're gonna do. Trust me, I know, right? Like, oh, they ain't nobody doing that. But you believe that these same people can put you in a position to be higher, but you don't believe they can put you in a position to be Lower than what you are? If I talk to 10 people and all 10 people I know watch the video, but it only says you got 4 views, you don't think that you might actually have 4,000, but it's only showing 20? Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't understand why I never rocked with Spotify. Oh, you thought Pasha just wasn't a good artist. No, Pasha knew early on, I'm not playing the Spotify game, because at the end of the day, you're still in bed with the labels, you're still in bed with the gatekeepers, and you don't know nothing about what the truth is behind those numbers that you got. And it can be manipulated just like everything else that I'm dealing with already. I'm not investing in Spotify. Then 5, 7 years later, here we go again. Oh, Spotify is corrupt and doing this and they're 18. Oh, y'all just thought about it. But you thought you were the shit when you had 120,000 views and got $70 for it. You might have had 5 million and don't know it. But you aren't in a position to comfortably have an attorney every 6 months with a retainer of $2,000 to $7,000 go in and do an audit for you to find out that you really made 450. So you just take the 122 they said you made, or the $70. Not playing these games, right? So they can think what they want. But the artists know my shit was the shit. They was just hoping you didn't hear it, because then they was hoping that you didn't know what the words mean, because you don't know what the words mean when I just be talking to you. So how can most people understand what the words mean in a song? How can they really tell you how they feel about a song when they don't know the words? So, see, my music is positioned for the Aquarius. It'll be one of the things like Picasso and Michelangelo, where they dig it up later and say, "Oh, what is this?" And they press play and they be like, "Oh shit, this guy was light years ahead of his time." And oh man, and then my song will sell for $5 million like a painting, when the person sitting next to me didn't want to pay 99 cents for it. But that's what happens to the true greats, though. That's what happens to the Teslas. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with the Hovas, buying influence, paying Samsung to go platinum, you can understand why the newer age groups don't respect the music, because they have the information that says it wasn't really done right to begin with. But then y'all talk shit to the young crew, talking about, I'm a millennial too. This is what I'm saying. Like I was the life I lived, I was always 5 to 10 years of influence ahead of the people that were my age. Like when I was 14, we was hustling with the 25-year-olds. By the time I was 25, I'm working with people that are 40. I'm learning from their experience in life. I got, when I was 17, I couldn't take my main chick to prom. I had a few. I had 5 chicks at one time before. That's why a lot of people ain't lived no life. That's why they be celebrating, looking at me like, "Oh, Paja, you ain't doing nothing right now." Man, I done so much in life. The shit y'all excited about, Gen Pop, I was bored with 15 years ago. Y'all just getting to it. It's not about that to me. But like, I couldn't take my main chick to prom when I graduated, I ain't gonna say I couldn't take. We agreed I would take someone else because I was 17 and she was 23 or something like that, working on an ambulance already as an EMT in school for nursing in college already. So it wouldn't kind of be very appropriate. You know what I'm saying? So I took someone else. But the point of the matter is, the real impact often lies with those smaller creators whose content is actually genuine. And then there's this thing called the halo effect, right? And that occurs based on the perception of just one positive trait. One positive trait. Like look at it. Let's use the Chris Do example, the case study on my LinkedIn page. Because when I questioned Chris Do for coming on my page and doing research, and then all of a sudden laying down some information in a form that I had explained it in countless times over about a month's period, which Chris Do is somebody I have been watching for years, so I know his norm. I know his norm. I know his approach. I know his style of conversation. I know not every single minute, but I got the general overview. So when I see you deviate to a more aggressive tone, like you're using keywords that are in, like, we could pull up 6 of my posts strung together. It's like you had the keywords from all of them in one thing back to back in one paragraph. That's not coincidental. But right, when given the opportunity, he never denied it, which is what people don't get. He even said at the end of the 4 comments back and forth, it was tennis 1 2 1 2, and we was done talking. He said that's the smoking gun. Now me and him know what that means. Which I'm not mad, because I put the information out there for free so that the world can change. I'm just saying, like you heard me do, I don't have a problem saying, hey, I heard Alex Hormozy say this. Such and such said that. Oh, Simon Sinek quote this. Don't get on there and say you got a quote from me, but give a name to somebody else. I'm up and coming too. For all you know, I could be homeless. And you a multimillionaire. Trying to make sure, because that one quote reference might empower me to change 10 more communities next year. You robbing those 10 communities of that because you're afraid to say you got the information from me. But then you want respect. The word respect means relate. I can't relate to that. I can't relate to the fear of telling you what the authority was, because that's the book or the quote that settles the question. We not the same. So when he said, when his followers, right, those influenced, says no, Crit, he always states his source. He always states a source, because I thought the same thing 6 months ago. But then when it happened to me, I was like, wait a minute. He didn't say the source was me. He said it was somebody else. I had to naturally question all of the other times I heard him give information and state sources. Because now, to me, those sources might not be the real source. But see, you haven't been influenced in the way that I was to understand the difference between you feeling like you're right, zombie follower apocalypse, and that the actual truth is. That's the halo effect. No, Chris always states his sources. Yeah, he always states a source would be the truth. There's a difference. The question is the source that he's stating the source that he got it from? Is now what I must ask because of the influence I received from the man that you may not have yet. And I say yet because maybe you ain't posted nothing of value enough for him to come and take from you, so you don't even know you out there taking shit. Because you're not valuable. That's why you follow him. So you can feel better and live vicariously. So this is to empower the people who know that they're valuable and might just be afraid to tell you that they're worth something. Go get your followers. You won't start small. The halo effect leads to the assumptions about the unrelated traits such as credibility or expertise. This can skew the perceptions of an influencer's trustworthiness, sure. To the weak minds who don't realize every great expert, every professional, LeBron James couldn't dunk at one point. But he's built a career off of dunking now. What's your dunk? You got the parasocial relationships, right? Followers often develop these things called parasocial relationships with influencers. They feel like there's a sense of intimacy and trust created, right? And anybody that's been a songwriter knows this because, and I don't mean just been a songwriter, like, hey, I wrote songs. I mean, anybody that studied the craft of songwriting, what you learn from people like Murphy's Law of Songwriting, you learn that when you write a song as an artist, not the Drake shit where you got 25 ghostwriters on your one song and all you did was change a word after you got the rough copy. We're not talking about that. We're talking about for the people who write their own songs. I mean, whether you make the beat or not, at least if you write the lyrics, right? And you're putting your songs out in the beginning and here you are, you got 20 views. What it is that you'll learn through the craft of songwriting, the right influence will tell you most people won't rock with your music until they learn more about you. Which is why relationship marketing and business isn't a new thing to me or people like me who's spent decades making music or being around the music industry. But when you hop on LinkedIn and you say, hey, I started a business 2 years ago, the idiots, right, are going to think you only have 2 years of experience. Because see, a lot of people, they start a business before they have any experience. And they're projecting their bullshit onto you. Well, when I started my business, I ain't know shit. So you just started 2.5 years ago. You shouldn't be talking about these expert level conversations because like you just started 2 years ago. What the fuck do you know? Bitch, I've been doing this for 20 years. Shut the fuck up. I just don't like money because there ain't none in circulation. And when I had my little volunteer slavery, that was my era. That was my bullshit. I was out here helping people that, you know, that statement about you'll know the character of a man when you see what he does with people who can't do nothing for him. Well, I was out there helping everybody that couldn't do nothing for me. And then when I actually needed some shit, part of what they couldn't do for me was tell other people because they were like, they had mental issues. Like they didn't want nobody else to get help and be up, or they didn't want me to get more help and get fun and get paid from people that could actually afford, whatever the case was, right? So you got a lot of people that they didn't help. You got a lot of people that couldn't afford to pay, but I did it for their budget. So I was out there really helping people that couldn't do shit for me. for a long fucking time because I didn't really need nothing from them in my mind because I just enjoy building the community up, however possible. Because my goal wasn't necessarily about getting paid, well, fiat currency, because the word pay means satisfied. My goal was building sustainable communities, studying people and put them in position to help the future, even if it had to be where you make it feel like it was their own idea. So even if you had to position everything so Chris still feels like he stole something from you, I'm not gonna say he stole it because it was free. I gave it to the world. But in his mind, he got it from me without me, and he's able to go do stuff with it without giving me credit, without paying me in any way, any type of satisfaction. But the Most High and the devil work together to manipulate Chris's mentality and his observation to make that be his thought process so that my views, my philosophies can reach people faster that would have never got that message because we're changing the world, not necessarily my bank account. And I'm okay with that because that's what my purpose is. I'm changing the world. You changing fake ass digits on a computer screen. How can we talk about the same thing? That's your emotional bullshit. Yeah, you might have a little bit easier time at checkout some days. You might have a little bit easier feel of quality, imaginary quality of life, but you're not making no real impact. And that's why you get paid so well. They want you to remain stagnant. They want you to do nothing. They want you to not position people to be empowered. We'll pay you to stay put. So, however, these emotional attachments to the halo, right, and the parasocial, the emotional connections do not always result in tangible actions, like a purchase. Think about it. Let's go back to Alex Hormozy. He's got millions of followers, right? His school's class is 25 people. And when I saw the picture from one of them, I think he had like 13. So you got millions of people following you, but you can't fill a class of 25. Now, I'm not saying they're not doing nothing. I'm showcasing to you that you could be doing the same performance. You could have 100 people put out a class of 25 and get 13. 7 of them from your following, 6 of them that didn't know you from before and decided to take your class. What's stopping you? Do your YouTube video. Get your 13 people. Let them take the time to learn who you are. Let the fake ones go somewhere else. Now, also at the same time, everybody's not fake. The shit I was talking about 6 years ago, as great as it is today, it's not necessarily what I'm talking about today or as refined and quality of a finished product. So the people that were in that enjoyed that, might have lost taste as I became better. Who knows? Like, but in that moment, they needed what they got. And what you're doing is you're robbing people from the opportunity to see the value in you in the moment, even if they never come back and say thank you, Christelle, because you are planting a seed that someone else needs to come along and water. The sun gotta shine, right? The wind gonna blow. Eventually, it's gonna grow. So what you're doing is you're not planting the seed because you're afraid that you won't be there for the fruit. And that's something I had to learn early on. For me, it was like my mid to late 20s when I learned it in that fashion. Like, you gotta plant the seed and know that you might not be there to see the fruit. That's why when people be like, Pasha, like, if you got thrown in a mental hospital for this shit before it became cool and people could talk about it on Facebook, why would you keep talking about it? Wouldn't you just learn to be quiet? No. What I learned is that they put me in the mental hospital because they don't want you to know. The right people would see that as more valuable. But instead, they're giving people, I don't know, $15,000 to come talk on TEDx about whatever. Right? But it's a matter of time because Aquarius is coming regardless of what they do tomorrow. So the seed you plant today are going to be activated in the new frequency. The question is, when will the seed travel to the new frequency? It's like if the bird comes and eats the seed, right? The bird doesn't stay where the plant is, right? The bird flaps its wings and flies away. And what if it's during migration time, right? So the bird eats this last piece of fruit, eats the seed, gets his wings going, flies 4,000 miles away, and takes a shit on your car. And you windshield washer it off, going 40 miles an hour. And the seed that was protected by the shit in the shit gets flung off with the now liquidized windshield washer fluid shit and flies onto the roadway. Now at 48 miles an hour to the left, the runoff from the road brings it down to the drain. The drain washes down to the water. The water carries it down a river somewhere, and it eventually hits a bank. Who the beaver comes and picks up the log that it landed on and goes and builds a dam. But in the process of taking it from the big river to the little dam area, the shit falls off, and now the seed is planted 4,127 miles away from where it was originally at. And that's your message that you're not putting out there because you're afraid of what someone's going to think about you that don't know you. You're robbing the forest 4,127 miles away from your enrichment. So imagine you're scrolling through your social media feed and come across a popular blogger. Excuse me, I ain't slept like 4 days. Named Sarah. We'll call her Sarah. She shares snippets of her daily life, from her morning coffee routine to her struggles with anxiety and some other stuff. Over time, you find yourself tuning in regularly, feeling like you know Sarah and her personality, or personally, you know her personally. You be talking to people about Sarah like she came over your crib yesterday, right? This is how people be talking about LeBron and all these other people. They, right? Like we got to do this tomorrow. Like, are you on the team? Nah, then shut the fuck up, because you ain't doing shit. Like, you sound dumb, but you're emotionally attached, so you don't realize the insanity factor. You ain't doing a motherfucking thing. You gonna go put on your fake ass jersey? You know what I mean? You gonna put on your jersey, and you're not even on the team. You're not on the team. You're not in the game. Anyway, look, that's so. Meanwhile, the community's fucked up. You ain't got time to watch this hour 40 long conversation because it ain't done yet. But the game lasts 3 hours. And all you get after that is a memory and some stats to regurgitate. And talk about shit you don't know. Speculation. But that's your passion. That's your life purpose, Gen Pop. Circus and bread. The story is old as time itself. That you ain't learned yet. So you laugh at Sarah's jokes, you empathize with her challenges, and you even feel a sense of pride when she achieves her goals. Because she's not Pasha. She's not trying to change the world. So you feel safe with her because she's just having coffee and talking to you about the anxiety. Right? So you celebrate. Yeah. This is a classic example of parasocial relationship. You developed an emotional connection with Sarah, even though she doesn't know you exist. You might feel like she's your friend, sharing her life with you, and you look forward to her updates. And this is like the dumbass people with the Chris Do shit that was on my page. Oh, you did it because you got Chris to respond. Like, I didn't get Chris to respond. Chris got Chris to respond because Chris knew he needed to say something. Probably because he knew what he did. Because if he never did nothing, why would he say anything? I would just be some more of the noise that supposedly attacks people in those high positions. Right? I'm sure he gets 10,000 false claims a day. But the real one hit different. You don't know me. You didn't know me. So when you see these people make these type of comments on the page, it tells you what their mind is about. As far as I'm concerned, I'm equal to Chris Do. No, I ain't got the bank account. No, I don't got the network. And if I did, it'd be on and popping. But that'd be world change shit instead of me sitting up there at the Adobe Live, whatever, talking about, some shit I got off Pasha's page. For theatrical purposes. So, now, while, they can create a sense of intimacy and trust with this parasocial relationship shit, they don't always translate into tangible actions, like making a purchase again or engaging in other forms of support. Trust me, I know. I can put the Cash App up here right now. Chances are you ain't gonna hit it, right? So we can do the experiment right now. Let's just do it. There you go. I don't know. Send me a cup of coffee. Whatever, right? If it was a Lakers game, you pay $189 for the ticket in Charlotte. I think you got more value from this. Would you be willing to send $189 right now on the Cash App? right? You see what I'm saying? So back to it here. Where were we at? We were talking about Sarah. All right. So in everyday life, this can be likened to having a favorite character in a TV show, right? You might feel deeply connected with them. You might be rooting for their success and feeling their pain and all that shit you're talking about to your coworker on break time in the stall next to you because you only got 15 minutes and it takes you 7.5 to take a shit and 4 minutes to wipe your ass. So that's really all the time you got where you talking over the stall about the shit that you saw on TV and you supporting that way. No, that wasn't the Cash App. That was another. That was just something else on my phone. So then, you built this relationship, right? You're rooting for their success and you feeling their pain, but that doesn't mean you'll rush out and to buy merchandise related to the show unless you Taylor Swift fan. The emotional bond is real, but the actions that stem from it can vary widely, right? We understand it. So while you might feel like you know Sarah inside and out, the reality is that your relationship is one-sided. And that's perfectly normal in the age of social media. It's like an adhesion contract, right? So that leads you to like this fascination with follower accounts when really what you should be thinking about is engagement rates coming from the brand invoker himself. Okay. So you see this person up there doing their thing. Like we said, they got 3 million views, but then they find out what's their engagement. And I'll tell you when this stumbled across on me when I was more so focused on music, which I plan to get back to, but I'm in a survival phase, building this brand out. And when it gets back to where I want to get it to, or gets to where I want to get it to, then I can have more fun making music. So retool, stuff like that. Get new gear. You know how it go. Everybody in the game know what I'm talking about. So for me though, I'll tell you what it was. I was having a low moment mentally years ago. Not like suicidal or nothing, not like dumb shit, not like quitting, just wondering like what the fuck was I doing wrong early on in learning how to market the music. Because what you learn about a song is that there's no such thing as a bad song. It's really just a question of, are you putting it in front of the right people? Once you learn that and know that that's true, it should change your emotions about bullshit. So now the question is, do you have the budget? Because what a lot of people don't know that's not in the game is they think a hit song is a hit because it was great. No, it's a hit song because the artist probably put about 150 to $250,000 behind the one song. They might got an album of 18 or 10 or 15 or whatever, but they literally put 150 to $250,000 behind the one song just to make it popular. But you don't know that because you didn't never have your heart broken realizing that at a I ain't gonna say heartbroken, but you didn't really have your world turned upside down early on in life because when you looked up to seeing these favorite people that you liked in magazines and on MTV or BET, you thought they got there from merit. You didn't realize how far pay to play really goes. You didn't know that I could pay a publicist right now and get in That's 50 or 50 Cent magazine or whatever. Rolling Stone. I could be in the motherfucking next, right? Next issue. when I learned that shit, it fucked my head up. Like I had things that was like I was gaining momentum, I was building, I was growing, and then I hit the next level, and I was like, you mean tell me I done worked all this hard to get to this motherfucking level, and this shit is fake as hell. Look, what the fuck is that? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like when you see your favorite car and you thought it was specced out in the exact specs you thought you would want to get, and you like 2 blocks away, and it zoomed by and it parks, and you walking up the block, and you like, yeah, I'm gonna check that shit out when I get up there. That shit hot, and you like, yo, man, let me. And you looking, and you like, oh, that ain't paint. That's a wrap. Oh, those ain't the real. Those ain't the real 4Gs, or those ain't the real Daytons. They ain't the knockoffs. Oh man, I thought you had 15s in here, some 20s, man. You got 8x9s, 6x9s. Oh man, like it's like that type of experience, bro. Like I can't tell you. Like I have been truly influenced by so many different levels. So I say it like I've lived so many different lives that I'm just bored with all the shit y'all excited about. Gen Pop. It's not that I ain't capable. They see the people who matter, the 30 people that watch my shit that you laughing about because like they only got 30 views. You don't understand who those 30 people are. If you did, then you might question why they watching Pasha. You missing the value because you looking for 100,000 people on my video. You just need to know who the 30 people that saw this was. Then you would know you in the right place. I'm quality over quantity, motherfucker. There ain't an industry leader that can't tell you they don't know my name. Or let me say it like this. There ain't an industry that has at least one leader in it that can't say they know Pasha. They might be avoiding Pasha. And I don't mean know me like know, like what foods are like know me, but know of me. They don't talk to me once or twice. They ran just like you did. There ain't an industry. And I mean, okay, because my T is wide and I got many verticals of various depths. You just got one Gen Pop that you're struggling to do. So you can't fathom someone being good enough to be great or good. I'm not saying super extraordinary in everything, super extraordinary in some things, but great at many things. Because you're too busy running around here being influenced by the quote that says, jack of all trades, master of none, because your ignorant ass never looked up the quote to know that that's only part of the quote. The whole quote goes, jack of all trades, master of none, oftentimes better than master of one. You ain't never got that part. You applaud your limitations in life. You call it your passion, you call it struggle, and you say that's what we're supposed to have, and then you want to be offended by anybody that said they doing 2, 3, we ain't gonna stop. We doing it all. Oh, but you don't have 1 million followers. The fuck up. If you still saying that 110, 114 minutes into this conversation, you're in the wrong place. So going back to the music, I was at a point one day where I was looking, I was scrolling through YouTube. That's how it went for me. And actually, not even like realistically, it was a Lil Durk video that just came out at the time. some years ago, and it was like one of those situations where it might have been out for either earlier that day or the day before, no more than like 2 days, right? And it already had like, I don't know, 2 million views on it, little Dirk numbers. And I was like, okay, Dirk, I see you doing your thing. And I was looking, and this is how the Most High work, and these downloads come, and I just happened to glance at, and looking at it at the shit, I saw, I don't know, let's go with 20,000 likes again. Just it's not what it was. I don't mind telling you when I'm fabricating part of the conversation. You know what I mean? I don't mind. It's the truth. I don't remember what the exact number was, but let's go with 20-something thousand, right? So yeah, 20-something thousand likes. And I was like, you know what? Hold on a second. I just had the thought to say to myself, the Most High sent it to me, whatever, higher self, higher vibration, through the great. I heard it through the grapevine, whatever said, Pasha, do the math on that shit. And I said, ching, and that percentage was the same fucking percentage that I had on like my recent video. The only difference was I might have only had 7,000 views. He had a couple million plus. And I was like, that changed my life. That one moment, Lil Durk changed my life, and I never spoke to him. Because when I looked at the numbers, I was getting the same percentage as him on the engagement. And from that moment on, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't worried about it no more. Because that tells me the only difference. I mean, now you got to add in the rest of the science. You know this shit, like, the science. For those who haven't gone through the learning experience of craft, I'm not talking about the people who just write songs, but I'm talking about those who learn the craft, know science, like average repetition of title 8 times. There goes some free game for you. The average person must hear a song 8 times before they can make an opinion on it. Like when you know the science of music, I said, oh shit, man, this ain't nothing. All I gotta do is get a. If I had the same budget, I'd be doing the same number, because here go the same percentage. And that's why people who are concerned with this shit, they talk to me, and I'd be like, yeah, I don't care about that shit. Like I said, I got to the level where I was talking to the publishers that was like, yeah, I do a lot of the publishing for local celebrities near and far. It's $10,000 a quarter. And then when I do the research, I'm looking up some of the celebrity shit just because I be researching everything. This is why y'all don't see me nowhere. I be learning everything. I don't be trusting what people say. And I talk to so many people about so much. I got a lot to go learn if it's true or false. I don't got time to be playing with you. You at the club. I spent 13 years in the club, 3 to 5 nights a week. For 13 years. What the fuck what are you gonna show me at the club that I don't already know? I'm bored as fuck at the club. Unless I'm used to getting paid to be there. You used to paying to get in. That's 2 different mindsets. You see what I'm saying? You can't relate to Pasha. You think something's wrong with Pasha. Because you don't know what you don't know. Shit, last time I went out to a little artist thing was I supported a lot of the local Charlotte, doings. I went. The last one I went to was like a Reese show. They looking at me funny because I'm in there with my bulletproof vest on. They like, why you came out with the bulletproof? I'm like, yeah, you didn't. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know. I just know what I know. I know who I am. I don't know who they are, but I support it. right? So, the point of the matter is, I'm researching shit. So when the publicist said it's 10,000 a quarter, that meant it was 40,000. When I looked up what the big boys was doing, they would have multiple publicists. Like they might have a publicist just for magazines. They might have a publicist just for brand deals. They might have a publicist for this. So they might have 3 or 4 publicists. So I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers got. And that 10K wasn't like I'm the best shit. That was just like an entry level rate at that point. Once you get to that level, and I was like, fuck, these motherfuckers was paying 150,000 a year, 200,000 a year just on publicists. So when you see them in these magazines, or go back to when we was younger for the millennials, and you saw them on BET, you know what I mean? That was just a light payment. That was like Facebook boosting. That was social media marketing back in the day, bro. That's all that shit was. So that shit fucked my head up, because I'm learning, damn, none of this shit matters. It really just matters about how much money you get these motherfuckers. So when you hear me talking about gatekeepers and all this shit, you're like, oh, Pasha hating, Pasha this, Pasha, no, you don't fucking understand, or you, like I said, you haven't been influenced the way that I have. See, I grew up in the culture. I grew up freestyling in front of the China King on Cash Ave, Newcastle Avenue, Delaware. Like, I came from all this, and to get there and realize, man, you could have just gave them 2,500 and none of the shit you done went through would have mattered. You understand why people are mad about the current state. And I'm not even one of the fanatics about it, but it just like, I don't even want to be in the same circle with this shit, because it's like, if it's fake, I don't want to be associated with it. That's just how I look at shit. Like, what's the point in thinking you balling at the club because you paid for a section? Y'all all in the same building. What makes you different? Because you can sit here. I mean, but I spent 13 years talking to promoters about how they really feel about you behind the scenes, about you buying elaborate tickets. I know what they really think of you. I know what they took your money to really do. It's like herding cattle. You're not shit. I'm not knocking it though. You're enjoying yourself. That's what you wanted to do that night. That's cool. I'm just saying. So when you work that hard, however hard you work to get there, and you realize it's all bullshit, what would you do? Like the people who went through 6 years of college to find out they can't get a fucking job, like it's kind of like that type of feeling. It's not that you, like I said, when you walking into that level of industry, it's not that there's not people ready and wanting to work with you and wanting to take you under their wing and teach you this or show you that. It's that, and then naturally that's going to put you in position to be something. Like, Pasha, why didn't you go to? I didn't want to be what they wanted me to be. That's why they don't want me to be anything, because what'll happen is, by default, if I walked away from your favorite producer and the industry just just accepted me, because I ain't quiet about shit. I'm vocal as fuck. So it's not like I didn't speak my mind the whole time. So what happens is, if I go out and then accomplish everything I said I was going to do, what does that do for the industry? I didn't mean to be Kanye. I was just born this way. I'll be back. I got to give y'all 5 to 7 years to know what the words meant in the songs I made 7 years ago, So y'all just need a 14-year gap for it to make sense, for you to get the value. So you know what I'm saying? It might not even be for y'all. It might be for the future generations that know, you know, they not brainwashed. And then when things are different, I can put this shit out and it'll go smooth because now's the time. The world is ready. See, this is why I'm okay with giving. I'm not okay with how he did it, but I'm okay with Chris Doe taking information and putting it out there because I need the world to accept what they can't accept from me, so then they can get the actual value that I want to give them. Because I can't even give you the value because you can't even accept the truth yet. Then pop. And that's why everybody work for me as long as they do them. That's why you don't see no malice in my aura when I say, hey, yeah, Chris Doe took my information and he started sharing it. And then he didn't tell nobody where he got it from. You know, it would have been cool if he did. But either way, this little zombie club is going to take the information. They're going to regurgitate it. They're going to now trust it because it came from their false idol worshiper source. And it's in their brain now. Pasha's in their head and they don't even know it's Pasha. And the thing is, that's what's happening to a lot of you guys that hate me. You're talking to people who are delivering you the information they got from me and you don't even know it. What you want to call it? Covert? Clandestine? I don't know. Now you're scared to talk to people. Now you don't talk to Pasha. Now you're gonna have to stop talking to everybody because you don't know who's talking to you. You don't know them either. But I need that to happen so that, like I said, you know, that's how one man can change the world. And then once a critical mass is reached, now you'll be receptive. Even though you still hope and wish that it came from a different source, some of y'all will be receptive. So that's engagement rates, right? So engagement rates are often better measure of actual influence than follower counts. Because you might look on my page and see 300 followers or 200 views on my shit, but you don't realize that there's 30,000 people talking about this shit right now because of those 200 views. That's engagement. So, for example, the influencer with 800 to 1,200 followers can achieve a 9% engagement rate, right? While those with over 2 million, like we talked about, might only get 3.5% or 0.8. You saw? So micro versus mega influencer, you can be micro and still be the shit. And companies will, if you want to go that route, companies will actually invest, you know, do branding deals with you. Especially if you got the publicist in the pocket. Sets it all up for you. You don't even gotta do nothing. I mean, like, this shit just became so. I don't know. Some of y'all will be excited by getting to where I've been. Y'all walk in and be like, "Oh man, yeah, give me this and give me that." Y'all be shopping. Y'all come out looking like you're the shit, and everybody that you fuck with be like, "Oh shit, look at you. You got this and you got that. Oh, they fucking with you, talking, man. You the shit. Yo, you see something?" And you be eating it up, right? You be enjoying the people who was talking shit about you for 8 years, finally sitting there saying you made something in your life. The whole time, you know, you cut a check. What the fuck? I don't even understand how that worked. But I guess it's like buying a wardrobe, right? This is why they call the lower vibration rappers, because that's what they're doing. Like a candy bar, they got a rapper on them, right? So you putting your wardrobe on. That's part of your outfit. You paid for the spot in the magazine. But then you get on the post and you say, "Oh, you know, I'm so grateful that such and such magazine put me in the cover. I'm on the cover," and like they just called you up one day. Was like, "Look, We saw you for we've been watching you and we want to put you on the cover of our magazine. Yeah, they did that. And then when you said, okay, yeah, when you want me to show up? They was like, right after you paid X amount of dollars, it turned into a sales pitch. And then you started saying, shit, I got that in the budget. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So you pay for the cover, and then you get on the social media talking to your fans like they chose you or something. Like you didn't cut it. Like that's the book. Like I was just like, oh man, this is disgusting. It's disgusting, right? But I'm gonna pay to be in a magazine. Shit, this is why I got so good at promotion. You can say you don't like my music. Some artists might tell you they don't like my music. Let's say some local artists might be like, "Oh, Pasha, I don't like Pasha music," but they can't deny my shit did 25,000 views. What they mad about is they shit didn't go 25,000 views, and they put money behind it. See, the reason I'm so good at marketing and branding now is because of the music. It's because everything I studied to become great at marketing my shit, I can turn your brand into Nike. That's why you see me doing shit for $5 that would cost people thousands of dollars to get done elsewhere. Because that's how I learned how to do it for myself, because I didn't have $150,000 to promote a track. So put your songs out. Your goal in life may never be to become the next Drake. You might become the replacement for Chris Doe in marketing and branding, and your enthusiasm for creating your own songs and staying true to yourself might be what gives you the training to do something powerful in a totally different industry. But you robbing yourself because you're worried about only having 20 views. This is what these business owners on Alignable and LinkedIn and all this shit don't realize when they talking to Pasha. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just not professional, as you would put it, because profession they didn't learn in school is acceptance into a religious order, a cult. That's what a profession is. So no, I'm not professional, because that's a cult that you in. Well, this is how you need to talk, and then shake your head and then do this and then stand upright and then look left and look in the eye for 2 seconds and then look away so you don't intimidate them, and then look back and then say, and then that's what business should be like when you talk business, and wear a button down and pull your pants. Man, who got time? Fuck all that. Do you want this shit or not? It's good for you. Get out here with all them gimmicks and bullshit. Like people be sending me emails talking about professional. They don't know what the word means. Or else they wouldn't waste my time talking about professional, because they might not want to be professional if they knew what it really was. I have no problem telling you I'm not professional. I'm Pasha Paro. And that's what they don't like. They don't like that I'm not professional, but I can outperform them. They don't like that I'm not spending the same budget. My clients don't need to have $20,000, but we're doing the same numbers. They mad about everything I fucking do. So they'd rather keep me away from you than let me build you up. These are the people that you support. The people that are eroding your community, depriving your community of true value, so that they can remain liked on a social media platform. And you dumb enough to be influenced by them to the point where you jump on the bandwagon and be anti-Pasha as well. And then you wonder why I say I'm like the Antichrist. All because the Gen Pop don't know what they don't know. So a study indicates that mega influencer with 600,000 followers generated a significant engagement but only 5 sales. You know, and I'm not saying Alex Hormozy only got 13 people total. We know that's not the case, right? We know he's doing numbers with his school games. Shout out to that shit. And what I'm saying is, in that one, that he displayed, it might have been like 13 people in that class. It's not to say the next one didn't have 20 and the one after that didn't have 4 or whatever the case might be, right? So he's doing his numbers. But what I'm saying is, having 5 million followers don't mean that you filling up arenas or even a 25-person classroom every single time, right? Look at the was it Amigos? What's his name? Anyway, there's been artists that cancel performances because nobody bought tickets, nobody showed up. And I'm not talking about local small guys. I'm talking about major people, supposedly. Right? So we realize this shit, having this massive following, don't equate to massive success in what you're doing or what you want done. So why are you worried about the numbers? Go get your 100 people. So the micro influencer with only 10,000 followers drove 100 sales despite the lower engagement metrics. He did 20 times more. But that's what happens when you listen to people who are too far away, too far removed from the problem, and you start believing they bullshit. All right? So we'll get closed out here. Look, check this out, right? Imagine you the teacher, right? Something powerful about your small following. Imagine you the teacher in the classroom. I put this on my LinkedIn page while I was putting these notes together for the video. So imagine that you're a teacher in a classroom with 30 students. Every day you show up, connect deeply, and watch your students grow and implement what they learned. Now imagine that you speaking at a stadium, because the 30 students, they're engaged. They're like, you might have your little problem child, whatever. You work with him a little more. They get on board. They a little slow with it. Not that they can't do it, but they be just like, I don't really see the value of it. But they get their work done eventually. They go out in life. They make things happen too. Now compare that to speaking at a stadium of 50,000 people who are just simply there to be entertained. Which scenario creates more real impact? You at Adobe Max or whatever it's called, I don't know where Adobe, the people know that they show up at your because you ever watch some of this stuff, the questions that they be like, man, you really aren't there asking this level of a question, are you? Right? And then they go and make this 15-minute segment, and I know, you can say the same thing about me, but I'm whatever. I'm long-winded about some shit sometimes. We're 2 hours 18 minutes into this, but it's high value. The game lasts how long on NBC? I don't even got NBC. I don't got none of them channels. All my remote do is turn my computer screen on and off. I got all the buttons yours got, but I just use the on and off button because I ain't changing no channels. I don't got no channels. I got my channel. I got YouTube. I might watch you if you start your channel. If I want to learn something. Every now and then I might check a Bronny James highlight because the people I told what was going to happen 5 years ago, they didn't believe me, but everything's happening the way I said it would happen. Even to the fact that little Bryce is probably going to be the more dangerous player. But I predicted the same thing with the Ball brothers. Like, nah, y'all watching Lonzo and all this. Y'all need to watch Melo. He going to be the truth. Watch. Now he out here dropping 50 with the Hornets. They embarrassed because I didn't watch sports. I told them that I don't follow that shit. It's fake. It's rigged a lot. It's this, that, and the other. Y'all wasting your time. I'm not into that. But what do you? If you had to pick, what do you think? Well, this is what it really is. Okay, remember this shit. Now they can't call you no more because they know you were true, which means that they weren't. So every time they think of you, they reminded about how fake they were. That's why I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You got to know why you alone to appreciate it. I take my 30 followers. I did a random video game play over the Christmas. You know, I don't celebrate holidays. Y'all know that. And I just been irritated with a lot of shit, and I needed a detox. And that's how I did it. I simulated conquering the world to as detox. I mean, that's how I detox. That's how my brain is. Let me get some nukes on the game and blow some shit up, like, you know. And I laughed about it afterwards. I was like, I could put out a fucking amazingly powerful video on knowledge. I can share that shit into groups. I can do the whole works and get 30 views because they, to some degree, they do control how much, you know, how far my shit go. I'm already on those lists, so I already know that. But when it's bullshit though, it's like they be rubbing that shit in my face. The same people that prevent your shit from going out, they do shit like this. Like when it be bullshit, they let you know it's bullshit because that shit do numbers. So like I might put a video out on some real powerful shit and it'll get 5 views like the first week. I was playing a game and the game got like, I mean, yeah, I was playing it for hours, right? So that, but the game got like, I don't know, I think one of them was that combined between both YouTube channels, it's at like 200 views. The other one at like 80, 90, 100. So that's 300 views on some video gameplay. But I can really tell you how to change the world and only 10 people watch it. So don't be afraid to start with your 10 people, right? When you have your 800 to 1200 genuine followers, you're in a much better position. You're not just reaching people, you're actually changing lives at that point. Okay? You can still interact with them. So these aren't just statistics. They're real people who chose to learn from you because you understand their struggles. They're not just a stadium full of people who you're standing here and none of them know anything about you. You can't respond to none of them. It's an illusion. Okay, you're gonna get the higher engagement rate because you're dealing with real connections, real people. Embrace that shit. Start your shit. Get started. We need you to communicate because if you don't communicate and the community doesn't realize there's diversity in the messages, get your 10 or 100 sales, whatever it might be. Do you? Remember, when someone with 2 million followers posts content, they might get thousands of likes from people who'll forget about it in 5 minutes. Some of them only like they shit just so they can be seen because they're hoping some of the thousands of people saw them. Some of the people liking your shit is the same way. See, you're doubting yourself, but you got people who are looking up to you that you don't know it, and they're coming on your page hoping to be seen by people that they think like you. Some people will go through great extents to try and capture your following like a pirate, not realizing you were trying to get rid of those people anyway because they were the wrong people for you to begin with. Again, the magic of allowing people to believe that what they did, their actions were their own thoughts, is an amazing superpower. If you grew up watching Ninja Turtles on TV with Master Splinter, you would know that. And this is when one of the turtles be like, something, 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 sensei. And he'd be like, yes, Leonardo. So, but put your content out. When you post content, you might be changing the life of someone. And if you spent 2 hours saving one person's life, would it be worth it? Like, nobody's life is going to be saved from this, like the Steve Bartlett show with the doctor teaching you how the women moan during an orgasm. Nobody's life is going to be saved because of that shit. That's why I only had 700 views. Like, he's got 3 million followers, and in that example, he had a post that did 700 views, 700 view likes. That's terrible. You might not even have a post that performed that bad. He's got 2.6 million or something like that, Richard. And it's not because I give a fuck that it's Steve or anything like that. It's simply a case study for me. It's me giving you the tools to learn. Like, if we were studying Pepsi, you would use the name Pepsi when you talked about what they did with their marketing campaign. So me using their name isn't me using Chris Doe's name and shit like that. Y'all weak ass motherfuckers ain't nothing more than me saying this is the experience that influenced me. So I'm giving you the authority, the book or the quote that settled the question. This is research. Emotional people don't know about research. All they talk to you about is feelings. So your small numbers aren't a stepping stone to something better. They're your superpower. They represent focused impact. Go back to Trash and Stash. We're not looking. No, it's going to be a very, very odd day for 1.5 million people in the Charlotte metro area to Rock Hill to all of a sudden say, you know what? I need Trash and Stash today. That's just the true nature of the fucking reality. Chances are very low, not by any source of branding or marketing magic, but chances are just very low. They're a great service, but chances are very low that 1.5 million people are going to need them on the same day. Let me put it like this: want them on the same day. A lot of people may need them. Like, a lot of people need help, but remember, denial the first stage. But it's gonna be a rare occurrence that 1 million plus people want them on the same day. It's not like hamburgers at McDonald's. Okay, we're talking about two separate services here. So your small numbers are your superpower. Because if Trash and Stash was getting 1 million impressions, but only 30 engagements, now you know you send it to people. You send it. You're not putting it in the right people's face. That's the difference. That's why I'm doing as high as 35% total content engagement. But you got to know the 3 psychological touch points of marketing to be good enough to do that. This is why y'all percentage is so weak, because you're trying to be liked by everybody when that ain't even what you should be doing. Because you caught up on illusions. So your small numbers is your superpower. Get with me, I can make you super powerful. And then they represent focused impact, because you're focusing, you're dialing in on your niche, and you get real transformation over time. I got clients that put 70 $70+ behind a post that got 2 engagements. With that same $70, I can get them thousands. That's the difference in believing in what you're doing and knowing what to do. Sometimes it's best to let other people do things, which is why I let y'all, Gen Pop, talk about the bullshit, deal with the bullshit, entertain bullshit. That's why you don't see me there. I'm trying to do real things. Okay? I'm doing real things at all times. Even when I'm resting, because I really needed that shit. So it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be incredibly proud of. And I took this time out today to encourage you because we need more of you out there spreading your message. So next time you feel discouraged by your follower count, remember, you're not reaching less people, you're reaching the right people. And that is where true influence begins. Reaching the right people. Simon Sinek quote, the closer you get to where you see yourself going in life, the more the people around you become what you expect. It's got me through a lot in life, that quote did. It's got me through the lonely times. I've been lonely for a long time. Because when you're at the top, it's lonely at the top, motherfucker. You testing the top 2%. 98% of the people you talk to ain't gonna even fucking want to talk to you again. Look, like Alex Hormozy said, you want to be clapping for yourself for a long time by yourself. That quote got me through a lot because it allows you to realize the truth of what you're experiencing. You're separating from what you're leaving behind to grow into and to become where you want to get to. So just like if you hopped on any mode of transportation, leaving one destination and get to another, there's going to be a period where you disconnect it from everything on both sides. And there's very few people that want to interact with you in between. Maybe you on a plane, maybe the person sitting next to you won't talk to you during the flight. Same thing on the bus. Otherwise, you might just be on your social media like you are anyway, still isolated from everybody, talking your shit. So you're going to be alone. Everybody not trying to go where you're trying to go. Right? So the next time you feel discouraged by your follower count, remember you're reaching the right people. And this reframing should shift your focus from quantity to quality, emphasizing the compound effect of the influential, the influencing, the influence of potential leaders and change makers. Remember, when you're making change, people don't want change. They are very comfortable, so you're not going to be well liked until they realize what the fuck they missed, that you are what they wanted the whole time. Then it's up to you if you work with them or not. Maybe now you're too far gone. Maybe now your budget, they need too much. You realize that when you was helping people for $5,000, you realize, damn, man, I really should be charging $24,000. So now that's how this shit works sometimes. So acknowledging the deeper value of your authentic or your genuine actually engagement over superficial metrics. That leads you to trust and reliability. Micro-influencers tend to be perceived as more relatable and trustworthy, which enhances our influence over purchasing decisions. This relatability is crucial in building trust and driving actual impact. See? I was telling people, that's another reason why they sick. I was telling people before, like, yo, look, I could do this. I don't do it yet. I'm thinking about doing it. Throw me ABC and I'll take your brand and I'll do this with you. I'll do this for you. They thinking, remember, you don't know what they don't know what you've done off camera for decades. They just seen you doing this over here. Oh, he must not know what he's doing over there. No, I know what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I want to do instead of what they said I should do, because I don't want to do that. I want to do this that I'm doing, and it's going to take me a little while. But then a year later, you're like, oh shit, this is kind of hot. Oh, this is rocking. Now you understand, but this is the same shit you didn't like a year ago. You just don't realize it because now you rocking with it. But if I went and done what they wanted me to do, I'd have been some version of them and not myself. I would have been making something that you're already heard for the last 10 years and not this new shit that I make. And that's part of why they don't want you to know about it, because they can't compete with something they can't do. See, they can study your beat because you made the same beat that they made. They can't duplicate a Pasha beat because it don't fit into their conception of music. You see what I'm saying? So they gotta suppress that shit as long as possible, because when I get the backing and I get the support and I get the bread and I get the funding, it's gonna be an empty road. There's nobody there. When you are really truly great, you can take your time because there is no competition for genuine. The reason why all these other people want to rush and they putting out there and they doing it is because they doing the same thing, and they fighting for a saturated market. They fighting for market share in a saturated market. You made the same song as the person next to you. You use the same beat. You got a similar flow. It's the same tempo, and you did the same video. You fighting over who cooler when y'all the same shit. And then when you look at it, both of y'all did the same thing that's been doing for the last 45 years. I'm not worried about none of that. I could never make another song, and like I said, 200 years from now, my shit gonna go triple platinum all of a sudden because the right minds finally got a hold of it. They may not be on the planet yet. That's why look. I'm so sincere with this shit right now. I'm so casual about this shit because look at the videos. Look at the stuff I talk about. Like I said, you don't even know most of the gym pop don't know what the words mean. I've gone through this my whole life. I realized these songs may be for a nation, a culture, 300 years evolved from where we are today. So y'all don't have that. They don't have that replay value in their shit. They shit gonna be outdated by the end of next year. I'm considering my shit might not even catch on for 300 years. That's the difference. That's why I'm at peace. I'm enlightened, and I don't fault y'all. We're still being in 1976. When you're coming from the age of Aquarius back in time to Pisces to help people transition, you gotta realize you're gonna be you telling them some shit that's not gonna be the norm till the future. Like Posh was talking about freedom to a community of people who don't know that they're psychologically addicted to their own enslavement. Freedom's not going to become a thing until the age of Aquarius truly sets in, and then everybody's going to be wanting to live up to the same standard. And when it happens, I might have influenced the potential leaders of that shift. as far as you see it, because the Gen Pop may never see Pasha as the leader of it, which is great because I don't need to be assassinated by the CIA. Now, they may not see Pasha as a leader because of the way Pasha does his shit. But he might have there might have been 400 leaders sprouting up because of Pasha. Because you only saw 30 views, Gen Pop, you never got the message. So it'll be new to you when it comes from the 4 or 5 people who got it from Pasha. The whole time you talking shit about Pasha, you doing what Pasha told you to do and don't even know it. That's the magic. I could leave right now. I could go to Mars right now. My work is done. Y'all still got to do shit. Like, to the people who do think the earth is flat and that there might be extra continents out there, extra civilizations that the average people don't know about, you might think one day, did Kobe really pass, or did they say, here's the deal, you do ABC, you achieve this for the NBA, we're gonna get you and your future generation up out of this prison planet portion, and we're gonna put y'all over on the other continent where we got the medical shit down. You're gonna live to be 250 in the same life that condition you are right now. Food is all natural, everything's 5,000 years ahead technologically wise. It's a different world over there. We're gonna take y'all out there. We're gonna allow your DNA to come join this other population, you and your future seed. Who knows? That might be the deal they cutting. Y'all might be thinking these people are passing. They might just been granted access to places that you don't know exist, and then they stage their death to make you think they're gone because they've been allowed to ascend. So anyway, a little fun there, a little fun. So the tendency to follow perception based on the follow account stems from the bias. Remember the bandwagon effect. Don't be alarmed by it. Remember the halo effect. You know what I mean? If you only got one halo, then chances are it's not real genuine support. It's an emotional attachment to a belief. However, the true influence is the nuance, relying on engagement rates, trust, and reliability. For marketers, this understanding is essential. While mega influencers can raise brand awareness, micro influencers often drive sales and specific actions more effectively. All right. So take that for what it's worth. Appreciate you spending some time with me. Hopefully you accept the investment in you. Hopefully you recognize the value. And appreciate the stuff that I share with you about my experiences, and maybe learn why I'm not maybe what some of y'all think. Y'all might be thinking I'm something that I'm not. Like, oh, he ain't good enough to do this. No, he was good enough. He just didn't conform in a lot of different arenas. And a lot of people couldn't handle that because they so used to dealing with weak minds. And you can say I'm missing out on some potentially better lives, quality lives and shit. I could be in different worlds, but I've been there already. You know what I mean? I've been there. I was already in that world in my early 20s. It's nothing new to me. Partly why I don't want to go back, because I said I was leaving all the fake shit behind. Why I left the banking world at the same time. Because there ain't no money in circulation. What the fuck am I doing? I went to collections thinking if I work in collections, I'll be helping people get out of debt. That'd be something to be feel good about. But then you learn if there ain't no money in circulation, then how can there be debt? So I realized that no matter what position, what attitude I take in the pyramid, I'm still supporting the pyramid. That pyramid. And then the question you got to ask yourself is that the pyramid that I should either be the foundation of or make the foundation of what I'm building on? Or should you be a part of another pyramid? And that's the question I leave the United States with, the citizens of. The next time you wonder why I say I'm American. Technically, I am foreign. I'm in a different jurisdiction. I don't think I'm better. I just use the authority, the books or the quotes that settles the question that you were too busy being influenced by emotional attachments to beliefs and laughing at me when I was telling you about it, to know how to operate. All right. So, Pasha Pablo, thank you for tuning. Enjoy.